Welcome to another episode of BackPass Tactics. We build backwards and transition forward because every goal begins with building from the back and passing forward. Today we'll be discussing Kaizer Chiefs. We'll be discussing the potential coaches that Kaizer Chiefs can sign, the pros and cons of each coach, and if each coach can be willing to coach Kaizer Chiefs. We'll also discuss whether this would be a good decision for Kaizer Chiefs or should they maintain the current co-coaches that they have. Let's start with the first name on the list, the name that all the Kaizer Chiefs fans want at the team. Coach Pitso Mosimane. Coach Pitso Mosimane is known for coaching Sundowns, coaching Al Ahly, and even coaching outside Africa. Coach Pitso Mosimane is realistically the best option for Kaizer Chiefs, if we're being honest. But let's be realistic. Looking at how Kaizer Chiefs is managed in terms of management decisions, Coach Pitso Mosimane is highly unlikely a suitable option for Kaizer Chiefs because the management team at Kaizer Chiefs want to sign players for the coach. They want to tell the coach basically what to do in terms of who's going to be signed and the overall project at Kaizer Chiefs. So in as much as Pitso Mosimane would be the best option for Kaizer Chiefs, the way Kaizer Chiefs runs the club would not be suitable for Pitso. They'll clash immediately in the team because Pitso Mosimane wants full control. He wants to decide which signings the team can make, how the project will look like for a couple of years. That would be the first problem with Coach Pitso Mosimane. The second problem with Coach Pitso Mosimane is the salary issue. As we all know, Coach Pitso Mosimane is fresh from coaching overseas. He's coached some of the biggest clubs in Africa, some of the most financially wealthy clubs in the African continent. So the salary issue would be a huge problem for Kaizer Chiefs. I'm not saying Kaizer Chiefs wouldn't afford Coach Pitso. What I'm trying to say is that Kaizer Chiefs might not be willing to fork out the salary demands that Coach Pitso would have for himself. Let's also look at another unconventional name. Would you imagine former Orlando Pirates coach José Riveiro coaching Kaizer Chiefs? So Coach Riveiro has recently been fired from Al Ahly after a few games. Coach Riveiro is a strong potential candidate for Kaizer Chiefs. He's won so many cup trophies with Orlando Pirates, but recently he failed at Al Ahly. But if we're being realistic, Coach Riveiro once said that he'd never coach any other team in the PSL apart from Orlando Pirates. So the potential possibility of José Riveiro coaching Kaizer Chiefs is very unlikely. But this would be a potential name that I wouldn't mind at Kaizer Chiefs if I were a Kaizer Chiefs fan. Let's also move on to another name. Coach Josef Zinnbauer. Coach Josef Zinnbauer has coached Orlando Pirates. He's coached in Tanzania and he's coached in Algeria. He's even recently coached in Saudi Arabia. Coach Zinnbauer achieved a lot at Orlando Pirates and in Morocco. He won a couple of cups with Raja Casablanca, which is the rival of Wydad. So Coach Zinnbauer is another option for Kaizer Chiefs. And the good thing with Coach Zinnbauer is that he has coached Orlando Pirates, and usually people who coach Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs are coaches that don't mind being told by the management who to sign. So Coach Zinnbauer would be loved by Kaizer Chiefs because Kaizer Chiefs would basically buy certain players for him and he wouldn't have as much input as coaches such as Pitso Mosimane. And when it comes to the salary issue, I don't think Zinnbauer would cost Kaizer Chiefs a lot of money. Among the names that I have on this list, he would probably be one of the cheapest options for Kaizer Chiefs. Let's also talk about another option. In my view, one of the best coaches that Africa has had in a long time, Marcel Koller. Marcel Koller is a European coach who once coached Al Ahly. He won various cups with Al Ahly. He's even won the CAF Champions League with Al Ahly. So Marcel Koller is a big name coach. In my opinion, him and Pitso Mosimane are the biggest names on the list that I have here with me right now. So the problem with Marcel Koller is that he once coached Al Ahly, and when it comes to the financial muscle of Al Ahly and Kaizer Chiefs, these are two different clubs. Al Ahly is at a far more higher level in terms of spending money, in terms of the financial muscle of the club. So Marcel Koller would actually struggle at Kaizer Chiefs because at Kaizer Chiefs, he wouldn't get as many resources as he is used to. So this might be a potential name for Kaizer Chiefs, but I don't think Marcel Koller would be willing to coach Kaizer Chiefs because of the budget issues and the signings that Kaizer Chiefs wouldn't be able to give him. Because Marcel Koller, just like Pitso Mosimane, he's the type of coach that wants full control when it comes to the transfer window, when it comes to how the project will look like. In as much as we're mentioning potential coaches for Kaizer Chiefs, let's also not ignore the fact that the current assistant coaches who have taken the helm after Nabi's departure are seemingly doing well, even before Nabi came back from his stint back home when his wife was sick. The assistant coaches were doing well. They won so many games for Kaizer Chiefs. So the current assistant coaches as co-coaches is currently seemingly working for Kaizer Chiefs. And this can be a strong possibility. Kaizer Chiefs can just retain the current assistant coaches and keep them until the season ends and give them the whole season. So one of the benefits of this is that they're used to the players, they know the players, and seemingly the players play more freely around these two coaches. So Coach Ben Khalil and Coach Cedric Kaze could be potential long-term coaches for Kaizer Chiefs. And in my opinion, if Kaizer Chiefs were to take this decision, I feel as if they might as well get the whole season to prove themselves. If they prove themselves this season by closing the gap between Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns and winning another domestic cup, then they deserve another season at the club. So, in as much as I've mentioned all these potential coaches, this is what my suggestion for Kaizer Chiefs would be. I think Kaizer Chiefs should continue with the current assistant coaches. Coach Cedric Kaze and Ben Youssef should continue as Kaizer Chiefs coaches. But here's my catch. I feel as if Kaizer Chiefs should bring in a well-known South African assistant coach to help them, just to strengthen the technical team. And the name that I have in mind is Coach Dan Dance. So I feel as if keep the current coaches and bring in Coach Dan Dance as an assistant coach. This can actually help Kaizer Chiefs because there'll be continuation and there'll also be a local coach who knows how to play beautiful football. Because as you know, Cedric Kaze knows how to play beautiful football. Coach Youssef is also creative, and Coach Dan Dance can actually complement the two coaches because his style of play is very attractive. He knows how to work well with talented, dynamic players. So that's my take on Kaizer Chiefs right now, and that's my opinion on the long-term vision that Kaizer Chiefs should go for. That's it, folks. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share with family and friends. I'll be right back like Reece James, hopefully not injured and having proper vocal cords.